Oh, see, look, we're live. Look, there it is up in the corner.
Hello, everybody. We are live at DLRN or DLearn. I have no idea how everybody pronounces it. My name is AK, coming to you with Virtually Connecting. And on site, we have at least 4 participants with us. Without further ado, go to this site and have everybody introduce themselves.
Oh, you're probably not going to be able to hear us if you move that far
I just
away,
wanted to give a view.
Yeah, okay.
But then we'll zoom back
we'll
in.
switch around. That's fine. I'm Lee Scalar at Bessette. I'm Ready on Twitter. I'm blogged Inside Higher Ed. I'm a faculty instructional consultant at the University of Kentucky. And I am interested in the intersections of gender and work and status within higher education, along with pedagogy, and how that influences pedagogy and how pedagogy is viewed within the larger system of higher education, among other things. But that's the one for today, so we'll just leave it at that.
Hi, I'm Tinana Yalovcic. I'm a doctoral student at Athabasca University, and my area of interest is disability and experiences of students with disabilities studying online.
Hi, I'm Nigel Harstead. I'm a doctoral candidate at the University of Kentucky studying instructional risk communication, and I'm also an instructional designer for our e-learning innovation initiative.
Hi, I'm Delit Levy, and I think you know me, AK, from a paper that I sent you. I'm coming from Israel. I'm the head of the Community Informatics Department in Tzfat Academic College. It's a small college in the far north of Israel. And here I deal with pedagogical innovation, and especially in the ways that teacher or teacher educator speak about pedagogical innovation. Oh, right. And that's my next presentation here.
Hey.
So you are all welcome. Excellent.
So, hi, my name is Paul. I'm a professor of mathematics at Church, and a lot of interest relates to the conference. It's mostly around education data and new tools around research control. It's data and all. And hi, AK. You know me from a course.
Right. And hi, I'm Autumn here at the on-site buddy, and I see that Maha's here. We got a virtual participant, and it's Maha.
Yeah. Hi, Lee. I watched you this morning on Periscope. You were the first thing I saw, and I loved it. You were so awesome.
Thanks.
I mean, I know you pretty well, but it's so different to see you like full body giving a presentation and joking around and helping out with tech support. Like, I actually enjoyed that.
I know where the on-switch is. So what are the, because you haven't been here and we've sort of introduced our work, and some of us have already spoken and some of us haven't spoken yet here at the conference. So, what questions, do you have for us in terms of what you've heard about our stuff, what we have said, what we're going to say? If you want us to go into a little bit more details, let us know. I mean, Maha, you saw me speak this morning.
Yeah.
But other people, you guys haven't even spoken yet. You haven't done your presentation, so
maybe we should ask them.
So since Periscope for me was a little choppy and I couldn't actually get any of the audio, can you give me a brief synopsis of what your talk is, what some of the main points are, and we can go from there?
All right. So mine was people ignore staff, and you shouldn't do that. Jeff Keeper actually had a really good synopsis of what it was, but it was around the intersections of how staff, the conception and stereotype of staff, along with the conception of stereotype of pedagogy, is highly gendered and keeps us from being able to make these connections and make these collaborations and also devalues the very necessary care work that goes into making universities run. And that might actually be more eloquent than what I said this morning, because it's all still working its way through in terms of what I'm trying to say, because it's still, but the image, AK, that I used was the image of the knot. Like, it's all a very knotted issue, and so it's trying to pick apart and try and figure out how to rub out and detangle all of these pieces in order for them to make sense and not just look like this giant inscrutable blob of stuff.
It reminds me a lot of the metaphor that I use in a curriculum committee, because when you're coming into an established program and you're looking at the curriculum, you can't just look at a course. You need to look at where the course fits, how it evolved, what are the learning objectives, what are the program objectives, who's been there over the years, how things evolved, what are the personalities. So working out those knots is an apt metaphor.
Yeah. And then there's also all of those again, all that weight we bring to it, and you know, how do we view, as I said, how do we view staff stereotypically? And I brought in librarians, because librarians have been struggling with these very same questions and theorizing these very same questions for a lot longer than we have. I mean, I think there's a lot to learn there, but there's a lot of parallels between that in terms of, as a microcosm, the way faculty often interact or treat librarians and think of librarians. As a larger, as a small microcosm of the larger issue of how that whole middle layer. So you have the administrators, you have faculty, and then you have this middle layer of staff, which are sometimes both paradoxically highly visible and completely invisible, right? In terms of librarians, at least as you know, we know where the library is. We often don't understand where staff are.
Yeah,
how that works.
That is very true. And sometimes, I don't know what everybody's perception is, but it seems to me that in addition to a very gendered role, it's also a very class-based role in some aspects. So you're thinking about, or you have faculty perhaps thinking that somebody in the staff, people who actually make the place run so that students and faculty can come in and learn and teach, those roles are being undervalued, but they are very critical, and it's a very class-based aspect that I see as well.
I do wonder if that's changing. I do wonder if that's changing as more and more staff positions are staffed.
I can't see the person who's talking.
So I'm wondering, as more and more of us have PhDs in these staff positions, as well as the increasing standardization, you know, teaching standards, I wonder if that is maybe. I definitely still feel the class differences.
Well, and I don't want to monopolize it, because I could talk about this forever. So I'll let, because you did your talk this morning too. So let AK and Maha hear about that as well. If I don't want to, or at least.
Did I hear correctly that you're studying at Athabasca University?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you cohort 6 by any chance?
5.
5.
Yeah.
Hi, cohort 7.
Hey, nice to meet you. World is very small.
It is very small.
My talk this morning was part of the panel, and talking about inequalities in digital and network learning, and my particular interest is in persons with disabilities and exclusion or barriers, as well as facilitators of their learning. So it was just throwing some of the ideas and looking at how the way we conceptualize disability impacts the way we respond and we design our programs, organize our support services, and implement the policies, because legislation and policies are quite explicit in making sure that there is equitable access to it. So,
yeah. You guys, just so that you know, the next session is going to begin in about 5 minutes. So we really kind of need to get some last thoughts. I know it was really, and that is a part of it, is that it's really short, but that's, I think, an important piece because we're not trying to like monopolize the whole conference, right? And so a lot of times the virtual participants, we kind of get them started, but then they continue the conversation even after we go on. And so that's how we're kind of broadening the conversation, even outside the physical.
Yeah.
And even though
and Lee has been on the virtual end of that, right?
yeah, it feels short to us, but it really is so powerful for the virtual participants because it kind of gets them started.
I've got to, because I'm on the next panel, so I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay.
Thank
you, Lee.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
See you.
Watch your step.
Yeah, I got to
Tie your shoe.
So if you want, we can do one or two more sort of broad overviews, chat, and then we can take it offline for anybody who is able to remain.
Yeah, so we didn't get to hear from you guys. Do you want to give us something really quick?
I would be maybe interested to hear their point of view
Yeah,
on
wonderful.
diversity issues. Because we realized in the room that there isn't all that much diversity in this room physically.
Really good.
I didn't catch that last part. It was a little.
I think he was saying they wanted to hear our perspective on diversity issues. I think that's what I heard.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So a lot of what Lee was talking about in her talk really applies to a lot of what's happening on my end of things. And Lee and I have written an article together about a critical approach to faculty development. So I guess we kind of think alike. So because we have, we're in a very different context, but it's still like I'm a faculty member, but I'm a non-tenure track faculty member, and my center has a lot of staff in it, and we support faculty, and our faculty-ness is threatened because we're not regular faculty. So some of us have PhDs, but we're not the typical faculty, and there's a lot of this whole precarity aspect is very present over here in Egypt for my university. So, and the same issues with, I think librarians was a good example that Lee gave because they've been in that position much longer than faculty developers. Faculty development is relatively new. But except that faculty developers are somehow sometimes seen as threatening to faculty as well. So then it becomes, it has a strange power dynamic.
Yeah, and I think that the power dynamics, even if somebody has a doctorate, and if I say PhD, I mean PhD and EdD. They're kind of the same thing for me. But whether somebody has a PhD or not, I think the job title says a lot, and it's kind of a marker of class in higher ed. It shouldn't be that way. But I think that if somebody is a non-tenure track faculty or an adjunct faculty or a faculty developer and they have a PhD, they're still not viewed as equals, at least in my own experiences in working in this environment. And I do think that people do have a lot to bring to the table. It's just that how do we break that barrier of discrimination in a sense?
I think we're going to have to wrap it up, you guys. We got some people coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining. Good to see familiar faces and new faces.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to stop?